Hi, and welcome back to It Figures. It's Doctor Who Day again, and tonight I have another sonic screwdriver review for you, and this happens to be Matt Smith's screwdriver. Now, the first time I actually saw this, I believe he was on some talk show or something. I don't remember what he was on, but he pulled this out of his pocket. They actually let him walk around with this, or they gave it to him. I don't know. And he showed it to the audience, and the first time he opened it up, I was like, oh my god, that's so cool, it actually does stuff. But as sonic screwdrivers go, this is probably one of my favorite. You know, I gotta admit that Matt Smith's sonic screwdriver here is just amazing. So there's so much stuff, cool stuff about it, and so much, you know, things about it that are awesome to look at. They did a really great job with this thing. I mean, okay, so we'll start at the front. Just take a look at that. I mean, it's very complicated. It's a lot of things happening, a lot of mechanics going on there. So it's pretty freaking cool. And then you got the brass that's coming down the center, mixed in with the silver here. Now the middle of it looks like leather. I guess that's what it's supposed to be. There's stitching that goes up the center here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. But there is stitching that actually goes up the center. So I'm assuming this is the middle part here is supposed to be leather, which is kind of cool. And then we have sort of a whitish, almost like a porcelain handle to it. And then we got the end with no pin this time, thank God. But this actually still has some problems with it. Alright, so for interactivity on this, it's the best. It's the best out of all of the Sonics. So I'm going to go ahead and push the button so you can see what it does. Of course, you probably already know, but here it comes. Yeah, pretty cool, right? It's almost like a claw-like effect. It opens up, and you got your light up whatever here on the end. This is a tip for it. So, and sort of like the David Tennant one, you only can use certain buttons when this is open. So by closing it, you just grip the middle of it, pull it closed, and the buttons here, right here, and there's one right here. That's the one that opens it, the big one. You push this, and you hear how much louder that was compared to the David Tennant one. So you push it twice, it has two different sounds. So you have a loud pitch and sort of a deeper pitch. So that's what this button here does. Now if you open it up by pushing this button no longer works. So you can't use it anymore. But there's sort of the hidden button right here that, you know, that this uses. So you can stick your finger in there and still activate it. Well, if you didn't want to use the other one. So how do you activate this with it open if this button doesn't work, you ask yourself? Well, they have a hidden button down here in the handle of it. And it's kind of a pain because the hinge is very loose. So it's falling open all the time. So if you're, you know, want to mess around with it, it just constantly falls open. And especially if you get this for a kid or something, this will be broke off within the first week probably. But you have this big old red button here, and if you push that, it does both sound effects while it's open. So that's kind of cool that you have that hidden button there in the handle. So, and again, close it, you pull it, and it works really well. The mechanics on this are great. It works just like the show. However, unlike the show, this is all made out of plastic. So I would love to have a metal one of these, an actual real metal prop, and those things probably cost like $2,000 or $3,000. Or maybe not that much, but I don't know. Also, this thing is pretty huge. It's much larger than David Tennant's. So when you go comparing the two, between David Tennant's and Matt Smith's, you can see how much larger Matt Smith's sonic screwdriver is. And overall, like I said, this is probably one of my favorite Sonics that I own. I just absolutely love the design of this. I think it's cool that it has some sort of leather grip, and then the porcelain, and the brass, and then, you know, the silver. It has like everything on this. They really took their time to make this one of the coolest sonic screwdrivers like ever. So there you go. There is my review for Matt Smith. If you've never went out and got one of these sonic screwdrivers, I actually really highly recommend these things because they're a lot of fun, and they're just, you know, just cool to look at and cool to mess with when you're just sitting at the desk and you're like, wham, you know. But yeah, it's just sort of like having a lightsaber from Star Wars, and these are a lot less expensive. So here are the three that I have reviewed so far. So you can kind of see the progression of how, you know, they've changed. they get more and more complicated as it goes on from this one to the first one to, you know, Matt Smith's. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed this review, and if you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button so everybody pull their Sonic out now and subscribe.